My name is Jane Clements and I'm the founder-director of FODIP, which stands for the Forum for Discussion of Israel and Palestine. It's an interfaith organisation focusing specifically on how we talk about the Middle East in this country. The session that we've just participated in, we've just seen, is really a sort of condensed version of some of the training that we do for facilitators, local activists, people working on campuses or in colleges, institutions, who want to help people begin to have a conversation about Israel and Palestine, but are very aware that it's an incredibly difficult and emotive issue, and therefore they want to have some tools, some strategies and some foreknowledge from people who've been through it and made the mistakes to see how best to do it. So essentially this is what we did today. We did a mini version of some of the elements we put in that workshop. The important thing is to get people to reflect on their own personal backgrounds and experiences and to think about what's influenced them. So we get everybody to fill in a personal context sheet whereby they have questions to address which are all formed in a personal pronoun. When I was growing up, I found my view is informed by this influence, or I visited, I met, I spoke to, then things about fears and anxieties and so on. And this sheet is what we use for further discussion later on.
We started off by doing this reflection thing where we answered questions on a piece of paper, so that then we had that as a way to work on and to then go and see how other people approach things and what other people think, which I found really amazing.
Firing of scores of rockets into southern Israel by Hamas militants and other militant factions. Scenes of chaos, destruction, and suffering triggered an explosion of outrage and anxiety throughout the region.
To get everybody remotivated, a small short DVD, which brings up some of the issues. Then this enables people to work through some of the comments and thoughts they've had from their personal context sheet to stick up on the wall and maybe to look for links, things that are familiar, things that are different, issues that really have come up that we want to explore. Okay. Hostility ignited by conflict. Okay, safe spaces. Safe spaces reassure me. We might talk about that one in a moment. I feel more reassured when I see the possibility of children to hope. And what scares me is when I see the possibility of children to hate. Well, I think one of the most important things, which the ambassadors already have, is the ability to see each other as individuals, as human beings, and despite different positions and backgrounds, which is one thing we explored, that each of us has a background and influences that are very personal to us. Nonetheless, one can see that despite disagreements, there are ways in which one can work together on issues and help people to talk about the issues and be more open about them.
Some sort of short-term, long-term cause, and it's up to the judgment of the politicians to decide. If there's politicians have right now, because there's a need of emergency.
I don't think it's ever an emergency with a preemptive attack because it's preemptive attack. I think it was a nuclear.
Sometimes not talking about things can cause a pressure to build up like a pressure cooker. It can all explode. But to have some sort of mechanism to get through that and to enable people to speak about it. Now, I know I've seen today that the ambassadors have good opportunities and ideas and skills and experiences and vision, really, a lot of vision there to see an end game and to see that things can be reached and achieved despite seeming from very difficult situations.
I found this really useful for a number of reasons because it helped in learning how to facilitate dialogue more, which is something I've done before in different contexts, and in this particular context it's a very difficult thing and something that we're still trying to kind of get right ourselves, and especially with FODIP, the help they can bring to us, and I think that that's also where kind of my role as a campus ambassador comes in, because although this isn't what I'm doing as a campus ambassador, I think that it all kind of builds together to help the overall aim. The whole point is to build trust and to reduce tensions, and I think that is key, and I think that's something big that I got out of this session particularly.